miss. I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. Don't second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. Danny G sitting alongside Rio and our guy Myles tonight. Jimmy's got some family stuff to take care of, so we appreciate you, big guy, for subbing in.
Not a problem.
My man.
Not a problem.
Well, we got a little different format tonight. We usually kick off the podcast with some interviews and things like that, but tonight we're going to go news and notes first, talk through some things. There's some interesting shit going on out there, and then get into our special guest tonight. So Jimmer did us a favor and threw in some notes for what's kind of going on over the last few days since the last podcast. I think, do you have some stuff pulled up over there too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, might as well just kick it off with the big one. The Browns get rid of Baker Mayfield today for, I believe it was a 5th round pick to the Carolina Panthers. What do you think?
Fuck.
I haven't seen any more details on if contract-wise who's picking up what. It just says, it did. So it did come out. Panthers will pay $4.85 million, while the Browns will pay the $10.5 million.
Yeah, okay.
So because Mayfield helped him out a little bit, he converted some of the remainder of his salary, $18.8 million, into incentives to help with the deal, pending on a physical still. But Browns will receive a 4th or 5th round pick, depending on Mayfield's playing time in Carolina. He would have to play 70% of the snaps, apparently, is kind of what is coming out right now. What do you think? Is he land somewhere close to that?
Yeah. I think he will in Carolina.
It is interesting because I could have seen, before this went down, I could have seen Carolina struggling. Right, you paid Sam Darnold. It's not working out. You know, after 5 games, if they're losing, then they go to their Matt Corral. Now, with Baker in the fold, that doesn't happen at all. I think Corral's going to sit. Matt Rule, his job's on the line. He's on the hot seat for sure. People are wanting results. Big time. So now he's got 2 quarterbacks to figure out. He's got a guy that can sit and learn behind some veterans. And then, I think he's kind of he's got to do something this year.
Yeah, I think so too. I think first of all, the Browns got peanuts back for the former number 1 pick, right?
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't have been.
He shouldn't have been. He was.
He was. He shouldn't have been. I was saying that from day one. I said, you do not take that dude.
Along with the fact that he's going to the team where Bobby Anderson talked a lot of shit about him.
A lot of shit.
He's
back, like, no, and interesting to see how that conversation goes. We'll never know, but
right, exactly.
Well, the true winner, the winner of it all, is Baker Mayfield, though. I mean, in hindsight, I wouldn't want to be associated with the Browns right now, especially at the quarterback position.
Well, I mean, I don't think he even wins because it's still going to be a quarterback battle going over to Carolina. It's no shoe-in. You know, we know how Sam Darnold struggled, but at the same time, he did well in some places. He did okay sometimes with the Jets. He did okay sometimes with Carolina, but, you know, showed the flashes. So what Sam Darnold are you going to get? So I don't think it's a shoe-in either way. I mean, he wins by getting out of the toxic situation by 100%, if that's what you're talking about.
What about the division he's leaving, though? I mean...
Yeah, it is a tough division. I think Saints are going to be tough. The Tampa Bay is going to be tough.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying, you get out of facing the Ravens twice a year, the Bengals, and the
absolutely
Steelers.
I don't know, man. I think it's a better situation than he was just in, but not by a ton.
Yeah.
Right?
It's more so it's a better situation as in but he wouldn't have to look behind his shoulder saying they don't want me. Right. So basically they're keeping me. If Deshaun gets a suspension, I got to play maybe.
The Browns are going to regret this.
I don't think you're completely wrong.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Jacoby Brissett, who is sitting on the bench. And if Deshaun does get some kind of suspension, what are they going to do? So,
yeah, and he's going to get some kind of suspension.
He's got to.
It's not going to be small. The other thing is, you mentioned Sam Darnold. Like, which one are we going to get? He's a head case, right? Once he starts playing like shit, it's just a tailspin. Well, now he's got two legit guys who could take his job behind him.
One for sure.
But even, if they decide, well, Baker's not it either, we're just throwing the rookie in and let's run. That's always a possibility.
I don't think that happens now. Not with how much you're paying quarterbacks. How much you're paying your two quarterbacks, $5 million and whatever. Darnold's got $14 million.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So. It's like the odds are not in favor that happens, but he's a head case, and so that's just more pressure on him.
Yeah,
it's not going to be good for him at all. It's way better for Baker.
Yeah, Baker, he's the kind of guy that kind of thrives on something like that.
And I hope we see a kind of revitalized Baker too. Yeah, because there's been a lot of bullshit about him and everything that kind of he's drugged through the mud when he shouldn't have been, but he wasn't playing great either, obviously. So I hope this kind of puts pressure on him to do better, and if not in Carolina, ends up somewhere else and gets a starting gig and does better.
Yeah, interesting to see, that how that whole labrum surgery, obviously it wasn't on his throwing arm, but enough to make him uncomfortable and the throwing motion uncomfortable. So now that he's fixed up, had time to heal, brand new start. He's got some great receivers out there. He kind of had wouldn't say the Browns receivers were great when he was there, but he had a couple guys. He had Odell Beckham he was missing, but after Odell, the trade went through. You had a few flashes. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I believe. Maybe Rashard Higgins is still there. Nothing great though, spectacular. Right. Now you've got Robbie Anderson, deep threat, not
as long
whatever.
As he catches the ball,
right? And then who's the stud? DJ Moore. Yep. DJ Moore going to be a stud. Is a stud. So
and the ultimate checkdown option.
Yep.
If you are passing the ball.
Yep, for sure.
So
it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, but definitely one of the big time news pieces that come out today.
He'll take them to the playoffs.
Oh boy. Dude, New Orleans is still going to be pretty good.
New Orleans is going to be tough.
You can have three teams in your division in the playoffs.
Not in that division.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just think he's going to turn it around. I don't think he's as terrible as everybody says.
I agree with that.
He's just been in he played for the Browns. Come on.
I just think the West is there's a couple divisions in the NFC West which we'll touch and talk about. It'll be interesting. Obviously
there's only one team coming out of that.
I don't know, man.
Seahawks ain't going nowhere.
Well, no. Cardinals will be okay. 49ers.
Kyler Murray.
Who just made the championship game, right?
Who did?
Didn't the Niners just make the championship game?
2 years ago.
They didn't make last year? They got beat before that?
The Rams won it last year.
The NFC championship
game?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So playoffs, that's what I'm saying is that there's going to be a couple teams vying for that.
Super Bowl division championship.
Got to make the playoffs, step one, right?
You can make it.
Yeah, I just don't know from that division. I don't see. I don't see the.
It's a hard bite, but
yeah, I don't see the. If anybody's going to get three, I'd think it'd be the West over
basically every other division.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But I just see him. He's going to have his flashes.
Yeah,
he's going to come with the interceptions, though.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree there.
Yeah. What else we got, man? So
moving on. Jody Allen, the owner of the NFL Seattle Seahawks and NBA's Portland Trailblazers, said in a statement Tuesday that the teams are not currently for sale, but eventually will be. Be interesting to see how that plays out. Everybody's players of all kinds of sports are dabbling in grabbing, a piece of franchises and such. Of course, Denver, right? We saw the Walton family jump in and get their feet wet. So eventually for sale. What do you think? I don't know. Portland's not the greatest basketball.
You're saying it's for sale right now.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. Portland's not one of the greatest basketball places to be.
No, it's not. And the NBA has indicated that Seattle's going to end up with
another team
here eventually. I mean, if somebody buys it, they probably move it, right? Talking about Portland specifically.
Yeah, that would probably be ideal, maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely interesting. Let's see here. We'll talk about the Pac-12. ACC discuss loose partnership, potential championship game. The proposal is being viewed as a way for ESPN to increase the value of their current media rights contracts.
So, hold on. There's another piece to that. So, just like a day or two later, another report came out that said the Big 12 is actually in deep talks to add up to 6 Pac-12 teams.
And only the studs.
Yeah, only the studs.
Only Arizona, Arizona State, Oregon, obviously, Utah. So, yeah, everybody's just kind of in a race right now to catch up to the Big Ten and the SEC, where Texas and Oklahoma are going.
Yep.
Everybody's kind of in a scramble because of college playoffs with there's no insight of it expanding. So you have to have a significant wins. Pac-12, you're not going to get any right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry. So they're scrambling to do something. Big Ten, obviously looking fine. The SEC, always looking fine, right? They're okay. Only going to get stronger with the additions in a couple of years of Texas and Oklahoma. Yeah, so right now everybody's just trying to play catch-up, I think, and catch up, make a case for themselves if they have a team. Say like who was at Wake Forest last year, who was balling out UCF a couple years ago, where you played a weaker schedule, but you're undefeated, and you're going to get snubbed, eventually. So, playing catch-up, I think, in my eyes right now. 100%. And obviously people trying to make their money, so, ESPN with the rights and whatnot.
Well, and, dude, the bottom line is if the Big 12 ends up getting those 6 teams, the Pac-12 is either done or they have to just combine with somebody else. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
At that point, you lose those, you're forced to. The biggest thing those small schools need to try to latch on, be like, take me with you. We'll do whatever.
Yeah. Yep. They need money, man.
Yeah. So don't know where they go, but it's just kind of a race right now to catch up and put yourself in the playoff hunt. I think this is only down the line. It's just saying that the playoff format has to expand.
Yep.
We talked about the teams and whatnot, where you'd have to go. I think 8 would give nobody a bye, right, and play it out all the way.
Yep.
You could go 10, I think, you give first round bye to the top 2. A bunch of different scenarios, but I think in the end, playoff format has to expand.
Yeah. This is something we've talked about quite a few times too, right?
I think it's even more now that all these conferences are getting bigger and heavy hitters. So,
just remember, the more it expands, the more games there's going to be after the regular season, right?
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
That's good in theory until these guys are like, I need to get ready for the combine even earlier. So they're going to miss 3 games.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're big, the big hitters that are going to the NFL. So now those teams that were studs, that were really good teams because of their studs, and their studs are gone. That changes the dynamic of everything, right?
It does.
That's where you start using these NIL deals and
making
sure your backups are good, keeping your guys, right? Hey, going to the draft, knows your thing, right? You could slip, you could fall. Injuries, stay here. Here's some more Neo money, a couple of mil.
Yeah.
We just saw that Miami recruit get $9 million to go.
Fucking insane, yeah.
Quinn Ewers, they pulled a shyster on old Ohio State, signed for $6 million and jetted after a year. So, yeah, definitely going to be interesting here. A lot of, we have the discussion there of a partnership between them. We have the addition of the Big 12 taking some of those teams, and all of it kind of wraps into big-time conferences, expansion of the playoffs. I think that's kind of the end game there with all this going on.
Yep.
Let's see. Well, 4th of July, kind of going back. Joey Chestnut finishes 63 hot dogs to win his 15th Nathan's hot dog eating title, all while subduing a Smithfield protester while also having a ruptured tendon. I don't know if y'all seen that. Somebody jumped up on the stage with a mask and Darth Vader mask, and he chugging down a hot dog right and grabbed him by the neck and pulled him back and down.
Even with that, to throw down 63 hot dogs, man.
God, man, just a stud.
What a
He just
baller.
he just ate like a family of 20s cookout for the day.
Yeah, no kidding. How many hot dogs did you eat, Myles?
4?
So not a lot. Okay.
I mean, am I dunking them in water too? Because that's disgusting.
I don't know if we figured this out. Did they puke those up when they're done?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they have to, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I know.
You got to be hurting though.
Danny,
Gotta be.
can you imagine swallowing a wiener?
No.
Well, I've seen
Not
it
the
do
way,
it,
man, not like that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Moving on down the news. Thunder rookie Chet Holmgren shines in his professional debut, scoring 23 points and setting an NBA Summer League record for blocks with 6 blocks and 3s in a game, making 4. The Murray kid from Iowa just balled out a few days ago. We see Chet ball out now. I think we're coming into a time where we see guys succeed more because the talent level these days are just so. I mean, these guys are training since they're 10 years old, so they're ready for the moment when it comes along. Not all of them, but a lot of them, and I think we're going to see more success. Now, it is a summer league game, so everybody can get it. Who was that one guy from Iowa? Didn't he ball out in the summer league and now sucks?
Yep.
So, bouncing around the G League now, which, to his credit, I think he's only been in 2 years, but still, I mean, the summer league doesn't mean much, but I do think he'll be just fine. I think the Iowa guard will be just fine. And I think we'll see this more often as guys lighten it up.
Yeah, and I think
they're more pro ready. I think it's across all sports. Guys are more pro ready. Everywhere. I mean, I think the only one weird one is baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball, I think, is a tough one just because how much control they have. There's a lot of politics going into when they move you up and stuff like that, just so they can get that extra year of holding you back. So, you might not see those guys for a few years and whatnot. But I think, like, NBA, we've seen rookies come in and just ball out. Back in the day, they didn't do that, right? It was LeBron James, Kobe. Not very many people just come, Tracy McGrady, right?
Yeah.
I think there's only a handful, right? But now we see all these guys come in and they contribute immediately. Even the NFL, right? Micah Parsons, we see guys like that come in and contribute right away. I mean, I hate to keep going on the Cowboys, but Zeke, I mean, he was put in a good situation, right? He balled out. But these young guys are just coming in and doing great. And I think it's just maybe the era we're growing up in.
Well, I think that's just a majority of now parents actually pay to send their kids to these camps, and then they're playing against other D1s or other NBA prospects.
Right, just everybody's more ready.
And then they're getting more training. Mm-hmm. If you would have thrown a guy back in there that just played college ball and that was it, and then just throw him straight in there with the NBA stars.
Yeah.
But now they're growing up with them. They're playing with them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You always hear about college guys saying I trained with whoever over the summer and whatnot. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot to read into. Is one game cool? I do think he's going to be good. I think it helps that he has a ton of talent around him. I think OKC is actually going to be pretty good. So it's not going to be all focused on him. Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to have a good season, but I think people are talking a little too much, probably because there's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
Just one game. So relax and see what happens.
One game for sure. Moving on, 2022 MLB All-Star Game could feature Albert Pujols, Miguel Cabrera, legends due to CBA clause and in recognition of their career achievements. I believe we touched on this. They kind of having a legends players being selected or put on the roster. So it'd be cool to watch these guys. Like I said, we're kind of coming up on a time where all these legends and guys we've watched for years are moving on and retiring, getting old, and it's the new blood coming in and succeeding and all that. So very cool that they're going to get a chance to kind of go out on their last hurrah, so you say, and get some recognition for sure.
Yeah, they better put Pete Rose on that bench too.
Put him in. Does it take away somebody? So by adding those two.
No, I think it's an extra roster spot.
Okay.
Then and commissioner, I believe, gets to choose.
Okay.
So, yeah, very cool, very cool. Sticking with baseball, I did see this play. Twins turn first ever 8-5 triple play. July 4th win over White Sox.
Sick.
It was more so the blunder of the runners.
Whatever.
But I can't remember what team. Was it the Reds or I can't remember who it was, but the runners basically, the guy caught the ball and he had already took off running. Like I don't know what the deal was. Horrible base running, but first ever one. So there you go, Twins.
Yeah.
Ready to see them choke in the playoffs.
Hey, we're rolling now, baby.
Boston University researchers say late NFL wide receiver Demaryius Thomas had stage 2 CTE. The family did come out and say he had been having seizures for a while, unfortunately.
Is this Denver's wide receiver?
Yes. Yeah. Bounce around, but yeah, that's where he made a name for himself. And
So it wasn't Tyler's guess.
what did he have?
Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
No, it wasn't. What sucks is we're seeing this more and more and more and more, right? And it's talked about in the NFL a lot, but I think it's in a lot more sports. There's just hardly any physical activity that you can do that doesn't jar you a little bit, whether it's direct head contact or just, yanking your neck, and so your brain wiggles and gets smacked around in the skull. So it's a sad deal, but you kind of expected it, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, today's age, we're seeing all these guys end up with some version of CTE. Football's a violent sport. I'm not sure if there's a way to prevent it. You see more guys. I think we do see more guys retiring early these days, protecting their health. Most of the time, it's not. Andrew Luck's an exception, but he had multiple injuries everywhere on his body. But you don't see the high-level players doing it, but you see average players doing it a lot more, which is good for them, protecting themselves and whatnot, and ensuring a good future for themselves. I don't know if it's something, I think I talked about it before, something you could put in the helmet where you could register, you could almost read the shock, how much shock they took, and if it was above a certain amount, whatever that is, pull them out, observe them for maybe a quarter. If you're fine and not showing anything, which, like I said, a lot of these guys don't, but maybe make them sit so that way it's not repeated quickly. I don't know what the answer is, obviously. Otherwise, they have tons of scientists on it, I'm sure. And
Gotta try something, though.
You got to try something. You can't just let these guys, they're out there performing, and making millions of dollars. There's got to be something better we could do.
Yep, agreed.
Whatever it is, hopefully it's not coming down to a money thing.
2-hand touch.
Except for that, we can't do that, Myles.
We cannot do that.
Got to be realistic here.
Actually, one thing I think would help is if we stop doing this weak-ass practices that they do. I think they need to be more ready for physical contact, not less.
No.
Yep.
No. More contact practice?
I don't think they're ready enough when they get on the field.
Did you see what happened to the Ravens Did you see what happened to the Ravens last year? What'd they lose? 22 starters?
All their running backs, some defensive players.
All their running backs. Yeah. That was, and I think we did chat about it. You can't, how many times have the starters played? Not very much. And Ravens was a little different. They were in practice and stuff happens. It was crazy. They lost corners and stuff like that. But I think we talked about you have to get your starters some more playing time, something meaningful. Instead of going in there, they haven't been hit. The first time they take a hit, they get a deep bone bruise that they're probably chasing the rest of the year. And only makes you susceptible to more injuries.
I disagree.
That's fine.
You're practicing with, let's say you're practicing with Ray Lewis. You're going to send your starting running back.
Nobody said you're trying to send your defensive players to kill him or anything.
No,
I'm just saying.
You got to get hit more than not hit at all.
Yeah.
And then walk out there, right?
There's no way I'm sending my starting running back up against Ray Lewis, ever.
Yeah.
That's why they don't do it.
Well, so
then you're looking at two of your star players injured.
Doesn't have to. I'm not saying it has to be against Ray Lewis, but it has to be.
Okay, Ray Lewis, any starting linebacker. I'm not going to start my starting running back with my starting linebacker and have them make contact. You're looking at losing two players on one play in practice.
Yeah,
I really don't like LeBron James.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. I think they need something more. Not saying against your studs out there, but they need to get hit more. Just more game feel, I think. You can't, the first play in preseason, the first game, they're barely touching each other, right? They go down right away. I don't know. I don't know if it needs to be up in practice. Maybe not against the studs, but to
Yeah,
go
you're
out
playing
there.
second team or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't simulate the game feel for a practice. You can't.
But you have to get close. Otherwise, the game feel is not anything you ever experience.
Look at
Unless
the
you're in the
amount of
game.
injuries that have gone up and gone up and gone up over the years, and how much. And look at the correlation of how much work they're doing, how much contact they're having. The contact they're having is going down, and injuries have gone up. Why is that? I don't know if that's the answer, but it is there. Yeah,
Turf.
Turf's part of it. Yeah. Yep.
I'm actually gonna defend my answer by I'm gonna go with my team here. I'm gonna go with the Rams. They take 2 easy practices during the week. 2 non-pads. I can't remember, but there's a reason that they keep getting these old timers that want to go there because they don't want to practice. But so they go through their stuff. Everybody's staying healthy for the most part. We're getting an ACL torn here and there, usually a big name.
Those Cowboys do the same thing. They're veteran players. I don't know how they classify it, but their veteran players don't have to practice like 2 days a week.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. Obviously millions of dollars that somebody else is paying them. So they want to protect, right? And they obviously want them to last long too. And so I don't know. I don't know what the answer is there. Well,
Grass.
Yeah,
Grass.
Grass is a great
Okay,
start.
grass would be a good
Yeah, I'm
start.
not talking about the field.
I think we're going to
I'm
reach
just kidding. I'm
out
talking
to
about the
our
field.
guys ready. We're going to talk with stud DN, Jefferson Adams. I'll give him a call here.
Hello?
Hey, Jefferson, how's it going?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Oh, doing all right. This is Christopher. I was wanting to reach out to you. We were chatting and setting this thing up. They call me Rio here on the show. I'm sitting here with my co-host, Danny G, and we have a fill-in co-host as well, Myles. We're just talking some football and kind of your life playing sports and whatnot.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, definitely. So kind of taking it back to high school a little bit. But even before that, when did you start playing sports, like as a kid, and what did you start playing?
I started playing football at like 5, 6. I played for my hometown team, the Ypsilanti Panthers. I played for them for a while, and then the program got shut down. And it was like after our practice, they huddled us up with the parents, and they said, "Yeah, we're no longer gonna have a program and all that." So that same day, my dad took me to another team where they were practicing and stuff, and I met the little league coaches and stuff, the Ypsilanti Braves, and then from that moment on, I started. That's when I started, actually loving the game of football and but from there, I played everywhere. I played running back, quarterback, all the skill positions, and I played on the D line a little bit. But I actually have a funny story. One of my coaches, I actually seen him the other day. So basically, when I first got there, right, they already had pads and stuff, and I didn't have pads, and I had to get my physical still, so I was just like on the sideline watching. And then when I finally got my pads and stuff, my coach, he asked me, he said, "Hey kid, what's your name?" And I told him, he said, "Hey kid, what's your name?" And I told him, I said Jefferson Adam. I said my full name. And he was like, "Son, that name is too long." And he told me, he looked at my jersey number, and then he said, my jersey number was 45, my practice jersey again. He said, "I'm going to call you 45. And from that moment on, like, if you go to where I live at, that's how everybody knows me, 45.
Okay. Yeah.
That's definitely, you know what I'm saying? I wear it to this day. I wear that number to this day. I did not wear that. I didn't wear that in high school. I wore number 2 in high school. But now in junior college, I wear 45. So.
Heck yeah. Tell everybody, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Ypsilanti, Michigan. It's a small town. 30 minutes. 30 minutes from Detroit. About 15 minutes from Ann Arbor. 15 minutes from the Big House.
Okay. So your favorite college team growing up was that Michigan then?
Yeah, Michigan. Yeah, that's the dream team, man. That's the dream school for sure.
Heck yeah. So
Man, I love it.
absolutely.
So you grew up in Michigan. I'm assuming that's where you played high school ball too, right?
Yeah, I played high school ball in Michigan. Yep.
No,
Okay.
Danny. He played in Florida while I lived
So-
in Michigan.
Hey, man, people bounce around. You'd be surprised. So my question is, you said you bounced around. You played running back. You played a bunch of different positions. What ultimately made you decide on DN then?
Okay, so it's actually crazy, man. I didn't actually start playing DN until last year. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. So in high school, I was a defensive back. I played safety in high school.
Okay.
Played safety in high school. I was about 6'3", 170, and I had out of high school I had an offer to Morgan State University, and from there I went from high school to Morgan State, and I graduated 2020, right? So that was during like the whole COVID episode. So my first semester was solely school online, workouts online, meetings online, and the spring of 21 we got a chance to get on campus and do spring ball. And when I finally got there, they was like, you know what, we're gonna move the linebacker, because during COVID I gained some weight, right?
Sure.
So they was like, okay, we're gonna put you at linebacker. So I was like,
Hey, no shame. All of us, I think, did.
Every damn person in this country did, brother. Shoot.
Right. Yeah, so I got to like 195, you know what I'm saying? And so I got there, and so I was at Morgan, and I was like, you know what? Like, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I left Morgan because, they had canceled the season. I just didn't like, or actually, it was, I loved it. I loved the school. I just told myself I wanted a better opportunity for myself.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I want to be able to, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? I know my potential, and I know what I can do on the field. So I told myself I'm going to take the junior college route. So I took the junior college route. I went to Hocking College, which I'm currently at right now. And I remember I went to a camp. I went to Akron University. I went to an Akron camp, and I did really well at the camp. And I remember when I was there, the coaches, I went there for linebacker, but the coaches were like, we want you at the line. And when we did one-on-ones for the D line, right? I never did a pass rush move in my life, but it just felt natural. I was just being violent with my hands, you know what I'm saying? And,
yeah, for sure.
And from that moment on, they came up to the school or to my JUCO, and they told my coaches that you know what I'm saying, if they were going to offer me, they were going to offer me as a DN. And from that moment on, my coach told me, I think it's best, you know what I'm saying, change the position to DN. Mm-hmm. And from that moment on, I've been a defensive end. So last season was actually my first time being a true natural, like a true DN in a collegiate level. So
yeah, man, you got some good moves. You're quick off the ball, definitely, and using your hands, getting the defender out of the way. Looking good. So definitely looking like a good decision. Obviously, second team All-American. How do you feel about getting those honors? That's obviously an outstanding achievement for yourself.
It's definitely something that I is cool and all, but that's my goal isn't the accolades, and my goal is to be able to, you know what I'm saying, go to a great program where I can showcase my ability to NFL coaches and you know what I'm saying, and be able to make it to that top level. That for me, I feel like a lot of stuff is just there to kind of distract you, you know what I'm saying? In terms of like for example, stars and things like that. Like a person with no stars versus a person with 3 stars, you know what I'm saying? That person with 3 stars automatically feels like an obligation to I'm this person, I'm that person, I'm that.
Yeah, I'm the fucking man. I deserve it.
You know what I'm saying? I for me, I'm the type of person, you know what I'm saying? You got to show me you're better than me, and I understand that, like there's a lot of work to put in, and you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. But yeah, like I said in my last point, I feel like I don't know. I just don't let that kind of stuff distract me or like give myself a big head. I just continue working and yeah. So
Well, big season for your first full season at the DN position. That's badass. So tell me this then. You were successful there. You've got your eyes on a bigger prize, looking at potentially going to the NFL. What have you been working on to improve to get yourself up, to those next levels, to be in the spotlight where they're seeing you, man?
Yeah, for sure. Just utilizing my strengths for sure. Like being able to understand what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, and just understanding that, if I have long arms and I, am going against a tackle that isn't as fast on his feet, or what I'm saying, I can use that to my advantage. Is what I'm saying? A lot of football is a lot about football is a mental game, So I just try to understand my strengths, and I feel like I do, and to work on my weaknesses. Like for me, I'll be honest, I feel like one of my weaknesses right now is my weight. In terms of, I feel like right now I'm at a weight that I feel like is solely for the pass. Because right now I'm weighing about 230, which is not bad, but I want to get to that 235, 240, maybe 245 to be able to be, to be able to be a stud in the run game as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because nowadays you got 300-pound plus offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to take a double team when you know what I'm saying, where you have to. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, as somebody else that played defensive end, what are you doing to somebody after you get chop blocked? All right, we're in the same boat.
Getting chop blocked is definitely the worst. It definitely makes you upset for sure. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. When I was little, my little league coaches sometimes they would say, if they keep chop blocking, just step on them.
Oh yeah.
Just step on them. Because
wise words, because they ain't coming back for it again.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
So, what are you going to school for? Doing all this, you went to one college and now you're at Hawkins, right? Hawkinson.
Yep.
What are you going to school for ultimately?
So right now, I'm in Associates of Arts, but that's just because that's just general classes. Like that's the major you have to take at a junior college.
Right.
But when I transfer to my 4-year, I'm gonna be a psychology major in the social work field.
Okay.
What I want to do with that is basically I just I want to be a high school counselor for kids in like poor communities and stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
And then at the end of the day, when school's over, like be a high school coach. So I'm gonna get my minor in like coaching or something.
There you go. Yeah, that's a great. If obviously professional football doesn't pan out in the end, that is a great backup plan to have and be able to pursue that. So say you're going on and we on the podcast we've talked about UCFL, XFL, all those kind of things taking off. Would that be in the realm as well if the NFL didn't come knocking?
No, yeah, for sure. Playing football after college is definitely the goal, and it makes me happy that there are different outlets being opened up. You know what I'm saying, for those different opportunities, like overseas, like you mentioned, USFL and things of that nature. But yeah, I would definitely be open to those. But I don't necessarily work to, like, I don't know. I don't put that in my mind in terms of like, okay, yeah, if this doesn't work, nah, like it's the NFL or nothing. But obviously things happen. So like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? But it's just like the NFL is definitely the end goal. So
For sure. So we see you're getting recruited and a lot of teams interested. If somebody's coming to you and were to ask, who do you try to model your game after, what would you say?
Who do I try to model my game after? You know what's crazy? I actually don't have a player that I I try to model a specific player that I try to model my game after, just because I'm not sure. I feel like I use different players and like different type of, like for example, one day, like if I'm just bored, I'll go on. I don't know if you guys follow D-Line Vids on Instagram. I go on D-Line Vids and look at different players from different schools and see what they're doing, and okay, yeah, like I can, and then work on that.
Yeah.
I've never really had a player that was like, I want to imitate this player.
Yeah. It's taking bits and pieces just to make Jefferson Adam a beast. Is what you're up to.
Who is your favorite pro defensive tackle?
My favorite pro
defensive end. Sorry.
Defensive end.
Yep.
Okay. At the moment, I would definitely say T.J. Watt.
Okay.
Just because I don't know. T.J. Watt is just unstoppable.
Okay, you do realize he had that Bengals O-line though, right? When he got those 9 sacks. Yeah.
Okay, we got a Rams fan is over here chirping.
No, yeah, I definitely understand that. No, but that in itself, hey, Bengals O-line or not, those are NFL O-linemen.
Yep,
true.
you're right.
That is insane. I don't know. I feel like T.J. Watt, and before for me was J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt was. I think T.J. Watt was a little better than J.J.
We're
Watt.
just getting daggers.
Studs.
Daggering.
Do you have a favorite NFL team?
The Detroit Lions.
Hometown?
Yeah, I know.
Sorry,
Let's go.
Sorry, man.
I love it.
Look, the year that the Detroit Lions or the Detroit Pistons, make a title run, that'll be the happiest year of my life.
Well, I just want to tell you, it's funny that you said that because Dan Campbell ranked the 3rd worst coach in the NFL. as soon as he said that's the first thing that pops up on my phone that's listening to me.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I can't say too much, man. I think, as I'm a Vikings fan, I think one of your wins this past year was against us too, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So we've had our ups and downs too, brother. I'm with you on that. We need a chip. We'll take it.
Absolutely. So you got some teams looking at you. Colleges, I believe you said you had about 10 or so. Any favorites there right now?
Favorites. So I was just recently offered by Eastern Michigan.
Oh hell yeah!
And that's a hometown team. That's across the street from my house.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah, so like that was definitely a blessing. I got to tour and stuff, and so basically they offered me the opportunity to come play in the summer, but I won't be a summer grad out there. So they told me that the offer still upholds. So this season, because they play like Tuesday and Thursday games, I'll be going on like game day visits and stuff. So I'm excited to see them play up close and stuff like that.
Hell yeah!
And be a part of that atmosphere. But yeah, that is definitely number one. Other than that, I don't really have. I feel like all the other schools are kind of equal. In terms, none of them. If we're being honest, none of them have really,
blown you away.
Yeah, blown me away. But I have full faith that it'll be I'll have that school that So.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you planning on playing one more season here at Hocking and then making a decision?
Yep, I plan on playing one more season at Hocking. Making a decision around I would say December.
Okay.
So, yeah, I definitely am excited for what's to come. I definitely have some big time schools I've been in contact with, and so I'm definitely excited, man. I'm just but like I said, I don't let that get to my head. I'm just gonna continue working and then continue, So
hey, you can be humble. We'll be over here, pound on your chest for you. You got some moves. You get off the ball quick, looking good. Whoever ultimately snags you is gonna get a heck of a baller, and hopefully you hit us up and we can be a part of that decision. If once you come down to it, we do look forward to seeing you ball out again here this season. We do this thing called Rio's Random on here where we ask 3 random questions, and all 3 of us, well, all 4 of us, including you, are going to answer it, and it's kind of just like a fun would you rather type deal. Nothing too serious. And so just something to have fun with. So, yeah, we're going to roll it out here.
For sure.
You know what time it is, folks. It is time for Rio's Randoms. Rio's Randoms brought to you tonight by Bo's Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Make sure you hit them up for all your cleaning, power washing, mowing, and snow removal needs. Hit them up at 641-903-1720. First up tonight on Rio's Randoms. If you're going on a plane, what are you picking, a window seat or an aisle seat?
I'm picking a window seat.
Picking a window seat.
I'm
Okay.
picking a window seat, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. Window seat for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like to try to spread out just enough. I don't like to get clocked by the cart girl
Oh,
or whatever
yeah.
coming
Having
down
the
with the
meat
food.
coming out? Oh, yeah. For sure. What do you got, Myles?
Yeah.
Depends on where I'm flying to, but I'm going to pick the aisle so I can see the scenery on the plane.
Ooh, listen
All
to this
right.
guy. All right.
Okay.
I kind of do agree with that because if you're in the aisle seat, say you're going to Vegas, right? You want to be closer to the cart girl, like get your drinks and get your jag on faster, right? But I would probably have to ultimately go window seat because I can sleep on a plane, so I'll just lean against the window and pass out. You know, the aisle seat, you're kind of chancing on who's in that bed. If they'll let, like my wife, she'll let me lean over and snooze on her, but if you're by yourself or whatever, that's not happening. So window seat probably for me too.
For sure.
As long as there's no snakes on
No
that plane.
snakes on
No
that plane.
snakes on that motherfucking plane.
Number 2 on Rio's Randoms tonight. If you had to pick one of these 2, which would you never have to do again? Would you pick to never have to eat again or never have to drink again, and why?
Oh, oof. Never have to eat or never have to drink. I would never have to eat. I would never have to eat because sometimes when I drink, I don't know. I think you get full of water.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never have to eat.
I think you get full of water.
Never have to drink.
I'm going never have to eat as well. Yeah.
You're just always full, and
You're just always full.
are
Drinking.
you just
whatever.
you just never feel hungry, I guess. Is
Yeah.
be the I don't know, dude. Food is so good. Like
Yeah,
there's so
never,
many good
Never have to
But just
drink.
imagine never
having liquid
having liquid, getting that
when
refreshing
it's hot.
drink.
Oh man, that's tough.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, never have to drink. Never
Ooh,
have to
Miles
drink.
going never drink.
Well, yeah.
You
yeah.
taste all the food.
Yeah, they,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
tough. Yeah,
I'm a ranch kind of whore.
You can drink
Kinda
ranch,
sure.
right?
Well, yeah, whatever it's called.
Yeah, God, that's tough. You sold me on the never, like on a hot day, you crack a beer or crack a cold lemonade
Whatever,
or
yeah.
water or whatever. Like, so I'm gonna have to go with never have to eat. Yeah, just be fulfilled, and then because on them hot days, come in after mowing or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go that way too. And last up on Rio's Randoms tonight. Say you're a defensive end for us. He obviously is. Jefferson obviously is.
Obviously.
Would you rather have say it's the last play of your college career. Would you rather have a strip sack, scoop, and score, or pick off the quarterback as a DN and take it back to the house?
Oh no, that's strip sack.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that strip sack, scoop and score, that is electrifying.
And that's personal.
That right there is that'd be a good way to go out.
Man, I don't blame you for that at all. I'm
That's a
going
good
strip sack. Yeah, all day.
Yeah,
Okay,
strip,
okay. You got
strip sack.
Strip sack. I'm going to be different on this one. I'm going to go pick up because how many times do you see it? How many
Dude,
times do you see a
That's true.
a lineman pick off the quarterback? And it's awesome at the time. Obviously, the run is a little slower probably, but I mean, still knowing that you're taking it all the way, it's something that people definitely remember, right? Strip sacks happen a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's
but so people definitely remember it, right?
yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
that's a good point for sure.
So that is where I'm going for that one. And that, folks, is what I got for Rio's Randoms tonight. Make sure you hit up our guy, Kevin Beauchart, for any of your cleaning, power washing, and mowing needs. Well, Jefferson, it's been good having you on. We don't want to keep you too long. We definitely value your time and appreciate you giving us your time. We also know that playing sports at the next level in college is a privilege, and you're usually helped along the way. Is there anybody you would like to give a shout out to who's helped you on your journey here as you continue your path in football and ultimately to your goal of NFL?
Yeah, shout out to my family, man. Shout out my mother and my two younger siblings, man. Shout out them, man. I couldn't have done any of this without them, you know. And yeah, everything I do is for them. So
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome.
Love it. So 2 things for you. I'll take this because Jimmer likes to do the 2 things. So I'm going to go ahead and
There you go.
quote our guy there. First off, good luck gaining a little bit of weight, but keeping that first step. Like Rio mentioned a couple times, that first step off the ball is phenomenal. And I know it can be tough gaining a little weight to keep that, but if you can do it, man, fucking let's go. Best of luck doing that. Secondly, before we let you go, if you end up making that decision in November, December, whatever time frame, Rio alluded to it, but we'd love to have you on and just kind of
help you announce that. We'd love to help you announce if that's something you'd want to do.
Most definitely, I would love to do that.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we appreciate your time tonight. We wish you luck in this upcoming season. And
Hold on.
Myles, you got something?
Here we go.
Yeah. So I've been struggling to find something to watch on TV lately.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite show or movie that you would recommend?
Oh, all right.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Well, right now I'm watching Stranger Things. I'm catching up a little bit. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yep.
Okay. I have not watched it at all, so I have no clue what it's about.
That's definitely something good to watch. Are we talking Netflix or Hulu?
Yeah, Netflix, and Amazon Prime.
Okay, so my biggest recommendation is Money Heist.
Money Heist?
It's a Spanish. It's originally a Spanish movie, but they have like English audio, so it's like they're kind of like. So basically, their lips are moving in Spanish, but like it's in English. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But that I don't know. That's one of the best series I've ever watched on Netflix. So Money Heist is definitely something that I feel like you guys would be engaged in.
Yeah, I will definitely watch
Stranger
that.
Thing and Money Heist.
There we go.
Heck yeah.
Thank you for that.
For sure.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I think that brings us to the end of the interview today. We do thank you for coming on and joining us and giving us your time. Like I said, we look forward to watching you ball out again this year and then ultimately making a decision later this year.
For sure, man. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, good luck.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
Yep, you too, man. Thank you.
Awesome.
Woo!
Awesome.
Let's go. Good dude. Yeah. So we can't help it. We're obviously all huge football fans. We got to talk some more NFL.
Huge.
We haven't touched on these divisional updates and recaps in a couple weeks. So we're going to start off with tonight. I shouldn't say start off, but tonight we're going to do the NFC West.
Yeah, NFC West. We'll kick it off with, since Myles is in the house, his favorite team, defending Super Bowl champs, Los Angeles Rams.
Soon to repeat.
So, key additions here as we kind of talk through this a second. Key additions, Allen Robinson, wide receiver through free agency, Bobby Wagner, linebacker. That was a big one. Some of their losses, though, Von Miller, Darius Williams, Sebastian Joseph Day, Austin Corbett, Robert Woods in a trade.
Whoa, just stop there. Jeez.
Andrew Whitworth, he retired. Johnny Hecker was released. So what are you thinking, Myles?
I'm thinking. That's
you lose Von Miller, but you gain Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather sit with.
I don't know what he brings off the edge for you because I think he traditionally plays middle linebacker.
Yeah.
And obviously Von Miller played on the edge. So little question mark how they're going to shuffle. I think they're
He's
obviously
going to be everywhere.
right. Obviously, with Aaron Donald on the line, you're going to be just fine, most likely. But what do you think?
Put Leonard Floyd on one side, Aaron Donald on the other, and go.
Okay.
I know different positions, but whatever. I don't think you realize what that does. You have 3 stars in all 3 layers of your defense.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can sit here and say they lost this. I'm fine losing Von Miller in game.
I'm not saying that. I'm just literally reading the list because that's what we're doing, the offseason recap.
Yeah, well, I didn't like that list.
You start seeing who you lost. And you start
you're starting to crush me there, but
yeah. Matt Stafford did get re-signed. Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Saves him some cap space this offseason.
So our big debate on, I said give the Rams 5 years and then we fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
We just got pushed to 2.
I figured, you had 3 starting this past year.
Yeah. Now the money is just
no draft picks this draft.
Don't need them.
So, you're not bringing in young people
Actually,
that you can keep for a while.
Wait. We're gonna get a lot of compensation picks this year. A lot. I think 8 or 9 actually.
Yeah. So depending on where those end up, you could.
What's it? Second round to 7th round.
I think 3rd to.
Yeah.
3rd to 5th.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
3rd to 6th, something like that. And trying to find guys that'll contribute right away is going to be tough. But so right now talking this coming up season, you're primed for another Super Bowl run.
Yep, we are. But so at the same time, you're saying look at who all we lost, but our whole division lost a lot this year.
Yep.
To be honest, so I'm scared though. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now you got to get offensive line players going to positions that they may have played, they may have not played. They did good when they did come in.
Answer me this, Odell Beckham. What do you think? Weird that there's no contract.
I don't think it's weird. I think the Rams they're invested in him and he's invested in them. I think it's gonna take. I'm gonna say it, but not mean it. But it's gonna take like a Von Miller deal, but he's not gonna get that. But I'm saying it's gonna be like something that they can't even match. That's gonna pull him away. But we can't even match at $7 million right now.
Right, that's what I was saying. They've got to do some moving around on money, only pushing all that money back farther again. I think you need them. You got Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson, and who else? You got some running backs there, but wideout-wise.
Allen Robinson.
Okay, there you go. There's your other guy.
Where are you going with this?
Well, I was just wondering, what do you think? Are signing them or just let them?
Allen Robinson's already signed.
Odell Beckham.
Yeah, I want him. Okay. I played the whole back half of my season with a torn ACL, but your father's bashing Baker Mayfield on the internet?
Yeah.
Get fucked first. Come on. The ball should have been there, but whatever.
Yeah, I think it's got to be the right contract for the Rams. Obviously, they're already staring at money problems down the road.
Well, he lost money last year, right? Because he took a crypto.
Right, the crypto.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
that's why I think he's trying to gain some of that back.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Rams can do that. But
how many times have you said that? How many times do you feel like you've said that?
Every other week we say that.
Every other week. It's fake cap space. So yeah, we understand.
Yeah.
But we're going to see it down the line. I saw the Cowboys hurt with Romo's contract for years is strapping them. They can't go get guys in free agency. And we're finally, between last year, we finally kind of relieved some of that. So
we won the Super Bowl with the largest dead cap hits. Todd Gurley and Jared. Well, Todd Gurley and then somewhat of Jared Goff. Mm-hmm. And we won with that dead money. So, do we eventually sit back and say...
Right, but you're going to see a lot of this coming up.
Yeah, we'll just do it again. I'm saying we're going to fall apart. Mm-hmm. I'm just... But Sean McVay and Les Snead are going to hold it together by strings.
Yeah,
we're going to be...
Right.
We're not going to be an 8-8 or 8-9 team or whatever.
Oh, no. You're going to be pushing these next 2 years till all those caps start going up. You start, having to cut guys and lose that. You'll be just fine these next 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
You'll be pushing. You'll be 12+ wins, barring injuries.
Sean McVay will never be an under 500 coach. I know what you're saying. You're talking about the next 2 years. I'm talking about the longevity.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's a coach for another 8 years, he'll never be under 500.
As long as he is a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
even think that. I mean, look what he did with Jared Goff. I mean, they were playing just fine.
I seen a crazy stat today about Jared Goff.
I might have seen it too.
The last 4 years or first 4 years of a player's career, what was it 20,000 passing or something?
Yeah, something crazy,
something ridiculous. And they're like, he's the only one. And then when it breaks it down, it shows him and Tom Brady are the only two to ever do it. It's kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah. Systems. So what do we think? Rams, I mean, obviously you're a Rams fan. I say, they're already 12-plus wins, first in the division.
Depending on how Trey Lance does, I'm going to give us the division win. We're gonna lose to that. Now I'm going to sound like an idiot for saying this. NFC South.
Is that who you play?
No, but whoever wins that division is who's going to beat us to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
I'm talking like Atlanta or Tampa Bay. I don't know if that's the NFC South or not.
Atlanta's not going to the playoffs next year, bud.
Not Atlanta, Tampa Bay or
Carolina, New Orleans.
Okay,
yeah.
So New Orleans or Tampa. Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Lots taken there.
But playoff team, first in the division, you think?
Yeah.
What do you think, Danny?
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Not because of anything they did necessarily. They got Allen Robinson, and they've got some more experience that they just added on on linebacker. But I'm not sure how Wagner's going to do. He's getting a little bit older too, right? But they lost so many pieces.
So many.
And we're not talking about Whitworth nearly enough either. That's fucking huge, man.
Massive.
You've got to be able to protect him, and that's going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be not talked about enough until the NFL season starts. But I also don't know, and I know Chicago's a shitty organization. They never ran plays for Allen Robinson, didn't even try to use him the way he could be. But was that them or was that him? I don't know if he's the same, I guess is what I'm saying. So we're going into this thinking this is the Allen Robinson. I don't know yet. I want to see it. And I think McVay is the guy to do it, to show what he is. But
I believe if the Rams go out and get you, you're going to be more than you thought you could be.
Yeah. And you could totally be right on that. I'm just saying there's an unknown piece there. I do agree. I think they win the division, but not because of anything that they did, because the rest of the division did jack shit or nothing as well. And we'll talk about the rest. But
can you you guys aren't even going to acknowledge the big dagger? Like, you could say all those names 100 times, and the one that's always going to hurt me is Robert Woods. I know he wasn't there in the playoff run and all that, but the way he blocks on the run, the way he's a teammate, other than the little drama that came with Cooper Kupp's success midway, Robert Woods was amazing.
That's a big one. Not just the blocking. Anytime you have a guy like that can take the top off, that makes things easier, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, I touch on contract situation with their quarterback, Kyler Murray, kind of going on. Sounds like not too as bad as it was, I guess, early on. And they're prepared to give him a big contract. Key losses, Chase Edmonds, running back, Jordan Hicks, linebacker. Chandler Jones, he's still a free agent?
Yeah, I don't think he's signed anywhere.
Christian Kirk, Jordan Phillips on the D-line, Max Garcia, and a swing tackle guard. But they made some big additions. Marquise Hollywood Brown, wide receiver via trade. Big time. Will Hernandez, guard, underrated guard. Keontae Ingram in the draft. Josh Jackson, cornerback. Trey McBride in the draft. And then Nick Vigil is going to be a good backup linebacker, and Darrell Williams, running back.
Dwayne Haskins suspended. Fuck, not Dwayne Haskins.
I was like,
Hopkins.
that's not...
Hopkins. Jesus.
Yeah, so
my brain's moving too fast right now.
Kind of getting into, you brought it up. DeAndre Hopkins, suspension right off the bat. So going to be some concern there in the wide receiver room, definitely. But you did bring in Hollywood Brown. So when I saw that come across, I was wondering if they were already trying to work out for a receiver. I do like Rondale Moore. They got him out of Purdue. He had a good year, a little banged up. I don't know if they brought back A.J. Green or not. I think they did, though.
I think they did, too.
I think they did. So, obviously DeAndre losing him is going to hurt big time.
Zach
6
Ertz.
games, right? So, yeah, they still have plenty of pieces on offense, I think,
They're
to
stacked on offense.
make this interesting. It'll be the defense that I think will continue to hold them back. We talked about their back end. Budda Baker was balling out for him, obviously a great safety, but kind of thin on the cornerback chart.
Yep. Yeah, and they extended James Conner, which was huge. They needed to keep him around. He's their touchdown machine, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you. The defense is just going to fuck them.
You lose Jones, and now you have non-sexy names: Devon Kinner, Dennis Gardeck, this Victor kid, Cameron Thomas. Nobody's at it. Now you got to look for replacement. Defensively, yeah, going to be tough.
Yeah.
Or quarterbackly, going to be tough.
Yeah, because that's something too. I don't know what that's going to do to the locker room because he was obviously a diva per that first report, right? So who knows how many people that rubbed the wrong way and what it does to that team because he's going to get paid, and so that's just going to show I just have to throw a fit and get paid. Okay, cool. I don't know what that's going to do. I guess so.
Yeah, well, they had the number 1 pick 2 years in a row, and took a quarterback.
Winning cures everything, and I don't know if they're going to win enough. I guess Rio. Where do you have them sitting?
I don't know. It's going to come down to what happens with quarterback play with the Niners.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think that is going to be a big one. Don't know what's going to happen there. Trey Lance is going to start. Do you keep Jimmy Garoppolo around or not? I don't know. I think it kind of comes down to them. They could definitely push for that number 2 spot. I think the defense is going to hold them back. So I would probably say they're most likely going to end up at 3.
Yeah. I agree with that. What do you think, Myles?
No, second.
Close, though, or easy second?
Close second. The 49ers are going to be behind that.
Okay.
Seahawks tanking for a couple years.
Yeah. Okay, we can move on to the Seahawks, though, since you brought them up. They did pick up some good pieces in the draft, right? They had a good draft.
They did, yep.
Especially around things that they needed. Minus, maybe Kenneth Walker. They could have picked something else there because they don't really need the running back. But let's see. So we've got the key gains, really. And so you might have a little bit more updated info than me. But so the edge, I have no idea how to say Uchenna Nwaso. Defensive tackle, Quentin Jefferson. They picked up their center, Austin Blythe, Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris. Those are all key additions.
Charles Cross on the draft. I don't know if you touched it. Kenneth Walker will be, they're always banged up in the running back room, so that'll be a good addition. Drew Lock, not sexy to replace Russell Wilson, but kind of what you're stuck with.
Is Chris Carson done for?
No, he's not. He's still there.
Oh, okay.
But obviously banged up all the time. Rashad Penny showing flashes. Gets hurt as well.
Oh, did he, though? He did.
Yeah.
Key losses, obviously, Russell Wilson, Gerald Everett, Dwayne Brown, Brandon Shell, Carlos Dunlap, Bobby Wagner, DJ Reed.
Don't ever call Jared Everett a key loss again, please.
Not for them.
Yeah, for them. It obviously replaced it with Noah Fant, but I don't know if you realize how Russell used his tight end. He actually used a lot of his tight ends before DJ Metcalf got there. DK Metcalf got there. So they have weapons there on offense. DK, obviously, Tyler Lockett. They have a stable of running backs. It's who's going to stay healthy. I can see Kenneth Walker eventually getting a good shot running the ball there. And Drew Lock's kind of quarterback where you're probably going to want to run the ball. He's not going to. He's going to wing the ball a lot, but he's not going to be the guy to win you the games.
You're saying all this, and all I can remember is How did the Seahawks not get labeled up there with the Ravens for all their injuries last year? It was crazy. I had all 3 of their running backs, and they were all on my bench because injured.
Yeah, I think it was just all the ACLs,
Well, Chris
for the
Carson
Ravens.
almost
Neck.
got forced into an early retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like every year, it seems like. I guess he just gets hurt every year, so
Yeah.
his neck thing always bothers him. Rashad Penny, like you said, when he gets his chance, he shines, but just can't stay on the field.
So good, though. He's got
So good.
such a good
Yeah.
chance.
Yep. I had him a couple years ago. He few games, balled out, injury.
You know who he reminds me of? Like, not his running style, but like when you plug him in, he does his job. He reminds me of the backup running back for Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, yeah, Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you put him in, you're getting yards.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you just use him more?
Absolutely. I think they're just not going to be enough. There's too many good teams in this division. They're going to struggle. Drew Lock obviously is not going to be the answer. They're going to be pushing, I think, for one of those top quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're
going to be 4 in the division, I believe. Defensively, they didn't get enough back. They got some weapons on offense, but I just don't think it's not. The weapons would mean more if Drew Lock wasn't the quarterback, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I would feel better about them if Drew Lock wasn't the quarterback. They had somebody else.
Yeah, do you think they're mad that they didn't go after seeing what they got Baker Mayfield for? Do you think?
No, they probably think he's about the same. I imagine.
Okay.
I could see that, them seeing they had the same. And if, on the off chance that Baker goes on a revenge tour and you're probably playing for one of those top quarterbacks, probably don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Baker has a better chance to keep you in games that you don't want to be in versus Drew Lock. He'll throw you out of plenty, and that's what you need because they're going after one of those top guys for sure.
Yeah, I think so. They're just not sold on that, on Drew Lock.
Yeah, well, neither's Pete Carroll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that guy knows talent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and so I think 4 consensus all around.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
unless that defense turns out to be Legion of Boom 2.0.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm just saying.
Moving on to San Francisco 49ers. Key additions, Javarius Ward, cornerback, Ray McLeod, Drake Jackson, Ty Davis-Price, Danny Gray. Nothing sexy. That Javarius Ward, he's an okay cornerback. He did well in spot duty for the Cowboys and then the Chiefs. Key losses, though, Alex Mack, center, retired. That's a big one in a team that wants to run the ball. Lock-in Tomlinson, Tom Compton, Jaquiski Tart, safety. I know he played. DJ Jones, he tackle. Raheem Mostert, I believe he went to Miami. Yeah, so I don't know. They just a good team. They didn't seem to make any moves. I believe they got one. They didn't chase after enough pieces in free agency. And then I think they got left in the dust in the quarterback frenzy that went on. If you really were set on getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and trying to get something back worth something, you should have pulled the trigger sooner. And I think they were. I want to say it seems like they were just wanting too much for him. We also know that apparently in the building, there's some rift on who should be the guy, who is the guy on Jimmy G or Trey Lance.
Yep.
So that, obviously is holding them back a little bit. Then we had the Debo thing, right? He wants to get paid.
He pulled his trade.
His trade. Yeah, he's paying for a trade. And all these receivers getting paid is only going to help him. Is helping him.
Well,
but
Christian Kirk really just fucked it up for all these teams.
Yeah, he had no business doing
no
that.
business getting 20 million. No business getting 20
I mean, Christian Kirk's a trendsetter.
Yeah, a trendsetter, yeah.
Sender,
yeah, he was. I think he was the first one to pop off.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I got that 20 mil. Shouldn't have. Debo, he needs his money. I think his big concern is the way he was used. Them potentially taking an arbitration basically and saying, well, you're kind of a running back.
Look how good
because
he did, though.
Because of your stats. Right, but they actually have a legitimate argument on how many stats he played at taking snaps at running back. So I think that's kind of playing in his mind.
Yeah, running backs get fucked, dude. So if they paid him as a running back,
oh yeah, way less.
Way less. So
than one of these receivers. He's obviously clearly a receiver. He can do both. I mean, he's a good utility player.
He does get hurt.
He does.
Because
right.
he takes those
hits.
hits.
Right, it's 1 year. We talked about that. He's done it 1 year. Be cautious paying this guy.
Well, okay, you guys can say that. What happened in was it the NFC Championship game?
Oh yeah, he went out at the
They held him out for what, was it the whole fourth quarter? He didn't go back in?
I don't know, but it was weird. He was out.
He got popped really good and never came back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I just don't know. It's going to come down to quarterback play. I mean, it seemed like they retained most of their team. Obviously, it's a big loss. Alex Mack there in the center position, but it seemed like they retained a lot of the other guys, the important pieces. Besides that, it's going to come down to obviously replacing that center, but quarterback play is big. Who do they trust?
I don't trust either of them.
I haven't seen enough of Trey Lance to really say that I trust him or not, I guess. But Jimmy G, I think he's, I don't know. I mean, I hate to say game manager because he will throw the ball, but kind of sit back on his defense and make the safe plays, I guess.
Who would you, if you could compare him to another quarterback that you've witnessed, who would you go with?
What did I say? Didn't I say he was like a little bit better version than?
I think you compared him to Baker, didn't you?
Yeah, Baker a little bit
Mark
better.
Bulger.
Little bit better version than Baker Mayfield, maybe.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think he makes better throws. Yeah.
Jimmy G doesn't win games.
Yeah, I'm not
that run
disagree.
game.
Yeah,
that
I'm not going to
run
disagree
game
with
wins
you.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 49.
Kyle Shanahan's play calling
Yep.
wins games.
Yeah, I think the problem with San Francisco is they weren't decisive in what they were going to do. So it still seems like you don't know who you want.
Right.
Right? And it probably is because they wanted too much, and then they got stuck with him, and he got hurt. And now it's like, fuck, are we going to be able to get anything for Jimmy G?
Right. He
But
got
then-
hurt. Then Trey Lance hurt his thumb.
Yeah, there's that
There's
rift. It's like,
question
who do
mark.
we start? They have to make a decision, and they have to just roll with it.
Yeah.
They're going to be good in the run game. Actually, if you're in fantasy, you're probably going to want to make sure you pick up this guy from LSU, that Tyrion Davis-Price.
Yeah.
He's a third-round running back, but when Shanahan picks up running backs,
Yeah, they're used.
there's a reason for it. They're able to hit the holes the way he wants them to.
They didn't use Trey Sermon, though. So.
But
There's a reason, I'm saying, right, for that. Right, Shanahan has his reasoning for everything, and it, to this day works out. I am worried because I think some of the pieces they got were okay in the draft, but I don't know if it's exactly what they needed. They still need help on defense. They still need that center, that O-line help.
Mm-hmm.
They could be a lot better, but I think they let a lot of things kind of slip through
Yeah,
their
they
fingers.
just kind of sat there. Seemed like they didn't chase anybody that they probably need. And I wonder if I don't know what their cap space is, and I wonder if that's because Jimmy G's price tag.
Maybe they're not paying a ton of guys though, right? So
That,
there's Jimmy
I
G.
honestly don't know.
I have a theory about the 49ers. You guys can.
You looking that up? All right, go ahead, Myles.
So my theory about the 40, Kyle Shanahan, genius, offensive genius, right? He still runs the fullback. He run the run game.
Yep.
I think he wanted to get he liked Jimmy G at first, but then his mind just started going, I want this game plan. I want this game plan. So he got a mobile quarterback that can throw.
Yeah, they got about $4 million cap space right now.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think they're just trying to piece together what's in his head.
Jimmy G is at 26, Trent Williams at 13, Jimmy Ward at 12, right tackle Mike McGlinchey 10, Nick Bosa 10, Rick Armstead at 9, Samson Buchan, that was one of your boys, he's at 8, Fred Warner at 8, Trey Lance is 7, George Kittle at 7. So they're actually kind of paying. I mean, like I said, I think their defense will be okay. It'll be who they play at quarterback and how they lead that offense.
Okay. Well, I've got them the way it looks right now, second in the division to the Rams.
I think they do finish second as well. I'm sure they'll probably split a game with, just because of how division games are tougher no matter what. They'll probably split a game with the Rams. I can see the Rams actually dropping a game to one of the other two as well. Just because, like I said, we talk about division games. It doesn't really matter how good or how bad your team is. Division games are a little different. And but yeah, I think I have them sitting at number 2, and I think it could flip flop with them in Arizona, depending on how that quarterback situation. It can go really good. They can push, the Rams, I think, or it could be really bad, and those two could be even and possibly flip flop.
Yep, I agree with that.
That's every year.
So almost kind of consensus. We got Did you have Arizona different than 3? Did you have them at 2?
I got Rams, Arizona,
San Fran,
Seahawks.
And I think me and Danny are Rams, 49ers, Arizona, Seattle.
But Myles, I don't have the Rams walking away with the division.
I
think
don't
it's
either.
going to be close.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
either.
tough.
No
Okay.
way. No
Okay.
way.
Well, so who plays that AFC West? You know how you
The Rams do.
do they?
Yep.
Oh,
So
shit.
that's going to be the
Yeah.
Rams. That's going to make things really tough too.
Yep.
You got 3 stud teams there. Yeah, that makes it really interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. I've already looked into that.
You'll have to, before the season starts, you'll have to do that schedule.
Oh yeah, that we do. Yeah, the little schedule pick 'em.
Okay, for your team?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah,
I actually have the Rams losing all 4 of those.
Yeah, so what it is it goes through each week, and you pick who's going to win each week.
calculates
And
a
then
record.
based on that, it calculates the record. And you'll shit, dude.
Yeah, Giants and
Oh
9
my
wins,
God.
right?
Giants at 9 wins for Jimmer. You're surprised.
Yeah, there was we had to do it.
Wait, hold on. It does what?
It calculates the record. So you go through every week and pick the games,
Yeah.
who wins, and then obviously calculates it out, and
Yeah.
you can kind of see where everybody lands, where you think, and like we had to redo it a couple times because like, oh, they're gonna have a win, or oh, what? How'd they hit like the Texans? How'd they get 6 wins? Like
Yeah.
what? And, yeah, I don't know.
Did
It'll be
this
interesting.
hit? Did it hit on anything?
God, we got to look at it. I don't know how close we were on some.
Well,
So
like
I was right on the Bengals. That was a big one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I got the Rams losing all 4 of those games,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be a brutal schedule.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and that's kind of our recap of the NFC West there. We'll kind of keep on and get some of these out, pump some more of these out as we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely appreciated old boy coming on the podcast too. But did you think of him? It makes sense, Miley?
Yeah, I did.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
I got one.
I mean, it's gonna
Go
be.
ahead.
Mine's just gonna be short and sweet, and
That's
then you
fine.
can do yours.
No, that's fine. We'll do yours and rock and roll with it, bud.
It's not a story or anything. It's just something a little common sense.
Okay, we love it.
If your employees are in there sweating their balls off day in and day out, why the fuck do you turn the heater on for humidity?
Okay.
I-
Temperature's not for our comfort. That was in the job description. No, absolutely.
So what, I think it's probably a health and safety thing. Like they feel like maybe there's some folks out there that need to lose weight, and so they just crank. They're trying to help.
No,
right?
no,
They're trying to help.
yeah, that's what it is. They're trying to cut down on humidity, Chris. I got that. You explained that to me. I'm just confused why that's even an option.
Or at least get better equipment so your employees aren't suffering.
Yeah,
Perhaps
that makes sense.
it makes sense. But make them suffer. Makes sense if you don't think about it, though.
Absolutely. You got to take care of them, man. Especially the way things are right now. You could
You better
pop
turn,
and take off real quick.
turn that fucking heater on, boys.
Do they have it cranking all day or what?
No, they didn't turn it. I don't think they had it on. They were coming to look at turning it on.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get rid of your comfort for. Oh yeah, because I'm really comfort right now.
It's 95 outside. Let's go outside to cool off. boys.
Yeah.
No big deal. Yeah, no doubt. That makes sense if you don't think about it. Turn the heat on when it's 100 degrees.
Yep.
Love it, baby.
I'm gonna do that to my family when I get home now. From now on too. Hey,
There you
turn the heat on.
I had the windows open a few weeks back. I'm like, God, I got to try to not run the AC all the time. Let's just get some fresh air in here, whatever. That lasted about 2 days, and my wife shut all the windows, and she's like, no,
No, turn the
AC is going on. But
Yeah.
should not be 85 in our house. I'm like,
Right.
all right, that's fair. I don't want back sweating to my couch. But, yeah, I think we can go ahead and wrap her up, boys. If you happen to find us on the interwebs anywhere out there, make sure to like, subscribe, share, give us a rating. That helps expand it to more people. The podcast is available where, Real?
Pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. Not Facebook anymore, but Spotify, Amazon, Breaker Radio, iHeartRadio, YouTube.
Absolutely.
And
YouTube for sure. Apple Podcasts, maybe.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts.
And for every new subscriber you get, I will send them my OnlyFans account link.
Ooh, there we go, Miley. They're going to appreciate that.
Yeah, they will.
Subs are going up, baby.
Feet pics.
Hell yes. And if you want to maybe shoot us a story, let us tell it on the podcast, or if you have anything interesting to kind of send our way, go ahead and slide on in.
to our DMs, hit us up in the DMs, get us that story. we'll get it out to all the folks that want to hear it. We do as well. We can omit names, anything like that, but give us that story. We'll get it out to everyone else. If you're looking for a workout app, download Fitbod. It generates workouts, shows you how to do new lifts, keeps track of workouts. Use our code 3GIG for 25% off.
Hear that, Myles? 25%.
Yeah, I'm not getting fit. Sorry.
I was going to say, it won't fix your face, though. So
You can, though.
Oh,
yeah.
my boy has a fix for you.
What's that?
He said if you feel ugly, you can take a brown paper bag and put it over your head, and where your eyes go, cut the holes out.
I love it. He's a genius.
Genius.
Now, if you see me walk around with a brown paper bag, just know I'm loving it.
There you go.
I'm loving it. Just breathing in that hot air. Hell yeah. But yeah, Fitbod, 25% off. Make sure you check it out. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it.